Hey everybody, Dr. Patrick McGrath at the Foglia Family Foundation Residential Treatment Center, part of Amita Health, where we have residential treatment, intensive outpatient programming, and partial hospitalization programming as well too for OCD and anxiety disorders and substance use as well. So question on my list of questions that have been sent in, thank you all for doing those, really appreciate it, was when athletes perform good luck rituals before their events, is that a sign of OCD? And the answer would be maybe. It could very well be, but let's talk first a little bit about superstitious kind of behavior, because we live in a rather superstitious society. When somebody sneezes, if you say bless you or God bless you to them, does anyone believe that that actually needs to happen? Does someone actually need to be blessed? Because the original of that is somewhat debated, but somewhere along the lines of that your soul, when you sneezed, was being ejected from your body, and to prevent the devil from taking it, you blessed the person so that the soul would be protected and the soul could come back into your body and not be taken by some kind of demon or something like that. We probably don't believe that today, but we hold on to the bless you when somebody sneezes. I have a new product coming out next week I'll be debuting. It's called Block of Wood, and that way, whenever you have the urge to knock on wood, you can just pull the block of wood out of your pocket, knock on it, and everything will be fine or okay. Knocking on wood doesn't do a thing, right? When something good happens, we just say knock on wood, or we actually go to do it, or if you're in Australia, you say touch wood. But this doesn't actually do a thing to prevent anything bad from happening or to keep a good thing happening. It's just a superstitious type of thing. Opening an umbrella in your house is not bad. A broken mirror does not have anything to do with anything happening good or bad. Even where the stars or the planets are today has no known relationship to how we're going to do today whatsoever. But people believe in these very superstitious types of things and hold on to them to be truths. So if an athlete, before they go out, let's say, eats a onion and then does really well while playing football, they throw 3 touchdowns. They might associate, well, now, every time I play football, I have to eat an onion because eating an onion was associated with throwing 3 touchdowns. So if next time they go and they eat an onion and they don't throw 3 touchdowns, they might think back, go, oh wait, you know what? Also that day I wore my yellow underwear. So I have to now eat an onion and wear my yellow underwear, and then that's when I'm going to have a good day and I'm going to be able to throw at least 3 touchdowns. And if they do another day and they don't throw 3 touchdowns, oh, you know what also? For breakfast that morning, I had Scooby-Doobios or whatever the heck they are. And so now I have to eat my Scooby-Doobios, and we just keep adding more and more things until we find, as long as I do all of these things, then something good's going to happen. And you could see how over time that could morph itself into some beliefs that have to happen. And if it gets to the point where I won't go out and play unless I've done all these things, now we're really moving out of the superstition world and we're moving more into the OCD world. Now, I can't verify the truthiness of some of this, but there's a lot of stories about Wade Boggs, who was a baseball player, who only would do batting practice, I think, at 37 after the hour. And so one of the places he was playing, the guy running the scoreboard jumped from 36 after the hour to 38 after the hour, and I guess Boggs went nuts, was just pissed off as hell because he wasn't able to do his batting practice at 37 after the hour. So I've heard lots of different stories from athletes who feel like on the way out they have to touch a sign, and if they don't, then that's the reason why their team lost or something like that. Now, here's what we know. In all sports, if everybody does these superstitions, but one team wins and one team loses, does that mean that one team did better at their superstitious behavior than the other team? Or one team did more superstitious behaviors than the other team? Or one crowd turned their hats around and flipped them up and wore rally hats more than the other crowd did, or anything? Or do we kind of rationally recognize that these things don't really mean anything whatsoever, but emotionally they're comfortable and they're familiar, and so we do them because we don't want that emotional discomfort? And if we get to a point that emotional discomfort is really starting to interfere with our lives and we keep doing more and more things to prevent it from happening, we can cross over into that realm of obsessive compulsive disorder. So just really watch out for the fact that we all probably have some superstitions and they probably don't interfere much in our lives whatsoever. But if they get to the point that they start to actually interfere in your life, that's when reaching out to a mental health provider might be a good thing, and utilizing the NoCD Pro Network or some referrals through NoCD would be a great place to start to get you to a therapist who's really vetted in the treatment of OCD and knows what they're doing and can really help you to take a look objectively to see if these behaviors are actually starting to get in the way and interfere with your life and in your ability to perform or your ability to play your sport. Because we don't want you giving up your sport or your performance all because of all the superstitions or rituals that you have to do in order to make it perfect, because there's going to be no such thing as a perfect performance. No matter what team wins, there's someone from the other team who hates the fact that that team won and thinks that that performance that the other team did was horrible because it led to them winning and they were the ones who wanted to win. So there's no universal agreement on if this was good or bad or right or wrong. It just is what it is. And if we can get to that point where we're not going to be doing compulsions or superstitions in order to try to win or lose, and they're not going to interfere with our ability to function or perform, then we're doing okay. But if it is getting in the way of our ability to function or perform, that's when it's time to really seek some professional help. Good luck with that for those of you out there who are in the sports or in band or acting or anything of that nature, and recognize that telling someone to break a leg doesn't help them perform better, and even if you whistled behind stage, it really wouldn't do anything whatsoever. Have a good one, everybody.